What is up, YouTube? This is M. Merritt back, and I am about to take the first step into a much larger world. I'm going to be watching the first episode of Masters of the Universe Revelation, see how bad it gets, or how maybe not so bad it gets. So I will be right back. Okay, so that was me watching the very first episode of Masters of the Universe Revelations. Um, hmm. Now, I can say, was it as horrible as I had heard? No. No, not by a long shot. However, there were some things confirmed that I did hear. I'll put it that way. And before I go on, if you're distracted by it, yes, I got this dry skin thing. I shaved a few days ago and I had a reaction. Just ignore it. It's fine. Um, let's see. So, animation was decent. It wasn't great. A few more bucks maybe could have gone that way. It was a little choppy. A little. I guess I was just expecting more. I'm not. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not quite what I was expecting. But for the most part, it looked pretty good. Looked pretty decent. It flowed well most of the time. Um, I took a few notes, so I'll be glancing at those. Voice cast was really, really. I mean, you got some all stars in there. Um, I find it a little bit difficult um, listening to Diedrich Bader and not wanting to laugh, if that makes sense. Maybe a little too much Batman Brave and the Bold, or most of his acting career, live action, anyways. So maybe that's playing a part, but for the most part, everyone's kind of killing it. I mean, I have heard some criticisms that, oh, well, here's Mark Hamill doing the Joker voice again. And it's not quite the Joker voice. It is at some points, but it isn't. But even if it is, then it's just more of Mark Hamill doing the Joker voice. I'll take any variation of that I can get. I mean, that's like saying, oh, the Beatles playing Hey Jude again? Yes, because it's freaking amazing. Just go with it. Um, and Lena Headey is Evelyn. Nailed it, spot on. Um, there were a few. I don't know about this. I know that Mon-El is Kevin Smith's boy. Chris Wood is in tight with him. I get it. I understand. And I like Mon-El on the Supergirl show. Um, I like Chris Wood. I don't have any issue with him whatsoever. There were a few moments where it was, the Clark's glasses argument. How can you not? How can you not tell those are the same person? It's like, here I am talking as Prince Adam. Here I am talking as He-Man. It's like, if Prince Adam ever had gotten the slightest bit of a cold, Tila would have figured it out. Everyone would have figured it out, you know. So there wasn't that much variation. Of course, I guess the same could be said for the original cartoon. So I'll let that slide. Let's see. But Stephen Root. Anytime you can get Stephen Root into any project, that's a plus for me. Big fan of his. Yeah, it was for the most part. I mean, and Sarah Michelle Gellar did her thing, I suppose. I think she did the best with what she had, I guess, is the way I'll put it. Um, there are a few things that stuck out to me. This is I'm not. This is not really spoilers ish. Um, but essentially, He-Man was. Here's the one spoiler. In the fight with Skeletor, He-Man is beaten by geometry and the ability of standing around. I mean, that fight scene, once they're inside the castle, it's almost as if he was in the middle of coming up with the script for Clerks 3 and was thinking about Clerks 2 and his analogy for how Lord of the Rings are a bunch of movies about walking around. And he was like, I'm going to make sure that this fantasy driven IP is going to be exact opposite. What's the exact opposite of walking around? Standing still. Literally, there were moments where nothing is going on, pure monologuing before the person strikes. It's like you could literally just take 2 steps to the left, stop. But no, you're just gonna stand there and watch as this happens. I'm sorry, what? So that kind of, I thought this was supposed to be an action series, not a standing around series. But that showrunner, director Kevin Smith, his characters move about as much as his cameras do. Apparently, did I say that right? His characters move about as much as his cameras do. Close enough. You'll pick up what I'm putting down. Um, yeah, that's we'll call that a plot hole, if you will. And then the aftermath of that fight. Here's a little bit of spoilers. This has been out for a while, so if you're even remotely interested in watching it, you've probably already seen it. The end of the episode is Teela finds out that lies exist. Did someone not tell her? That was the end of the episode. I found out that there are lies, and I'm going to throw a fit. I'm sorry. You just got a promotion to a man at arms. We'll put that aside. That probably could have referred to her as a woman at arms, or the first woman at arms. That's a little insensitive, but to have her be promoted and gone through years of this fighting and experience, all this experience fighting combat, and yet no one had her sit down for a strategy meeting and say, okay, the bad guys might do these things where they say something but don't mean it, and that is called a lie. I'm sure, and no, I'm not going to go back and watch through every episode of the old Funimation cartoon, but I'm pretty sure lies showed up at least some point in time during that cartoon. So she knows lies exist. And I'm sorry, the king didn't know. He just found out that his son is dead. And she was like, no, I need to be upset about this because, Dad, you lied to me. You kept a secret. You promised someone something and you stood by your promise. You are a man, not only a man at arms, but a man at your word. And I hate you for it. What? But I do understand she felt betrayed in that moment. But at the same time, it's like everyone else has kind of got some stuff going on. It didn't. It did not feel like what she was doing, not necessarily what she was feeling. She's entitled to her feelings. That she felt betrayed, sure. But she is one of the best warriors in the land. She's experienced. She just got promoted. She was trained by one of the most experienced fighters in all of Eternia. You know, she fought side by side with He-Man, and for Skeletor to refer to her as a sidekick, yeah, that was a dig. But anyone who actually paid attention, yeah, I'm sorry, Kev, don't know that you paid attention back then. Teela was not the main star. Sure, it was He-Man, but Teela was less of a sidekick. I mean, yes, would she get captured sometimes? Sure. But you know who else also got captured sometimes? He-Man, Man-at-Arms, literally every other character that existed. You know, most episodes were, oh no, they've been kidnapped. We must free them. You know, either that or introducing some other one-trick cliche character. So, yeah, lies exist, Teela, and to pretend like this revelation, see, yeah, would cause you to just quit right after the world has lost the champion. No, that's not the time for you to, take your sabbatical because of feelings. That's not a sense of duty. That's a sense of selfishness. That's a sense of self-involvement and immaturity that, I don't know, I hope she evolves from. I mean, this was just the first episode. This is. I hope that the growth that comes from this includes her getting over her own shit and realize that, yeah, sometimes life sucks. Sometimes people keep their word to other people to the detriment of you. And I'm sorry, how important was it for you to actually know that Prince Adam was He-Man? Did that help you fight? Did that help you strategize? No. In fact, probably knowing that Prince Adam was He-Man may have actually caused you to act differently, which is exactly what no one wanted. There's a reason why that circle was kept small. So, I don't know, just her throwing a fit and saying, I'm done with all of you because all of you told lies. I get the telling off. I get the being pissed and feeling betrayed. I totally get that. But for her to just quit and I'm supposed to follow that as a justifiable motivation, I hope this changes quick. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's that. So I will see you guys the next time after I watch episode 2. Lord help me.